Hi, I'm Dr. Berry, and I want to talk to you for just a moment about a secondary membrane that comes on after cataract surgery. It's very common, and many people who've had cataract surgery have it and have it treated, but if you're new to it, then the concept is easy to explain. When you have a lens inside the eye that goes cloudy, that's a cataract. Here's a cataract, okay? You can't see in, you can't see out. The doctor can't see in and you can't see out. So when you fix a cataract, you take it out. Well, that's the lens of the eye and you're missing the focusing power. So you replace it with a man-made lens that fits in the same place. Now that place is important. The lens of the eye is surrounded by a little layer of a membrane that's clear tissue, very, very thin, very delicate. It's 4 microns thick in an adult. A hair is about 120 microns across, so it's extremely thin. When we fix a cataract, we open up the front of the capsule, take out all the cloudy protein, and we have a hollow capsular bag left. Man-made lens goes in the capsular bag, and that separates it so it doesn't touch live tissue. The capsular bag is you, but it's like your fingernail. It's you, but it's not live. And it has no feeling, it has no blood supply, so it doesn't hurt. If you cut it, it doesn't hurt and it doesn't bleed. Well, when you put the implant inside the capsular bag and let that shrink wrap effect occur to hold the implant in place by the handles or haptics, then we're using the back surface of the capsule to hold the implant in place. If you didn't have the capsule there, the implant would fall in the eye when you put it inside. But once that fibrosis occurs, that healing around the edges, the shrink wrap effect that holds it in place, then we no longer need that posterior capsule in the center behind your pupil. But it is a framework, it's a space, and the body did have a cataract there. Now it doesn't, and it'll try to grow a cataract. And you'll get cells, clear cells, proliferating, growing across that posterior capsule. Kind of like taking a little bit of Vaseline and rubbing it on a window and saying, look through it. It blurs the view and bothers the passage of the light. You don't get a sharp image. So if you have a secondary membrane, named secondary because it comes on secondary to something that was primary, that's the cataract surgery, a secondary membrane gets in the way. If it's enough, then you laser it away. Now we used to take you to surgery, stick you in the eye with 2 needles, pull the iris back, raise the implant up, stab the membrane in 2 places and tear it like you'd tear a piece of cellophane to get it out of the way. Nowadays, we stand back here with a laser and we shoot the laser through your cornea, through the implant, and we destroy, we vaporize this membrane in the back. We don't touch you to do it, we don't break the skin, there's no chance of infection, it doesn't bleed, it doesn't hurt, there's no feeling there. So it takes about 20 seconds to do it after you're dilated. It's a walk-in, walk-out surgery. It is a surgery. We do cut something, but it's the most comfortable surgery you'll ever have. And it's one of the safest things we do. Complications from lasering away the posterior capsule, there's a small chance that if you have a retinal detachment just around the corner that was going to happen next year, we could make it happen next week. If we just stir the water, we could stir up that kind of trouble. But we vaporize that membrane to dust, and that dust can circulate around and plug up momentarily for a day or two that outflow for fluid out of the eye. So you can get a pressure rise after lasering a posterior capsule. And that's not really rare. That happens fairly often. So we always check for pressure after we do a laser capsulotomy. The name capsulotomy, opening. So you make an opening in the capsule or capsulotomy. So after you've had a laser capsulotomy, we oftentimes check the pressure. It's really rare to have significant complications from a laser capsulotomy.